Greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. Back, Rabbi Box here, back with my Parashat Shavua, the Torah portion for this week. We are looking at Parashat Pinchas from the book of Numbers, chapter 25:10 through 31. So as we begin, let's always do this. So let's start with the outline of the Torah portion. So the first section is the legacy of priestly leadership, Pinchas and the covenant of perpetual priesthood. Second, legacy of the land, census of a new generation. Third, legacy of the land, Machla, Noach, Hogla, Milka, and Tirza, the daughters of Zelophehad. Number 4, legacy of Mosaic leadership and authority, Joshua appointed as successor. And then the fifth section is the communal legacy for continuing relations with God, the sacrificial offerings. So, the Torah portion begins with God speaking to Moses, saying, Pinchas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the Israelites by displaying among them his passion for me, so that I did not wipe out the Israelite people in my passion. Say, therefore, I grant him my pact of friendship. It shall be for him and his descendants after him a pact of priesthood for all time, because he took impassioned action for God, thus making expiation for the Israelites. What we have is God continuing the priesthood lineage through Aaron, but now it's going through his son Pinchas. Still through Aaron, but Pinchas is the one who is going to become the high priest now. The next section is there's a census of the Israelites. One final census before they literally go into the promised land, and it's a discussion of all the people, the number of descendants by their clans, and again, it's just a bunch of numbers of different the tribes and clans that we know, so that we are given a total amount, and total enrollment of all the Israelite men is 601,730. And then we have a census of the Levites. But then we have one of the most important sections of the entire Torah, because it does something that's never been done before. And of course, I'm speaking about the legacy of the daughters of Zelophehad. Machla, Noah, Hogla, Milka, and Tirza. Their father has died. They have no male siblings and no male heirs for the land. So if they're very much concerned about their ability to have ownership of their father's land, and they go to Moses and they say, "Hey, what do we do?" And for the first time, God responds to Moses by saying, "The plea of Zelophehad's daughters is just. You should give them a hereditary holding among their father's kinsmen. Transfer their father's share to them." So we have, for the first time, perhaps in human history, certainly in our history, women being given equal rights as far as land ownership. And there's some minutia in there as far as how the property is transferred, and if there's no men left and it goes to this particular brother or this particular cousin or nephew or whatever. So there's there's minutia there, but the fact that women are being considered as landowners is a big step. Another important ideal for our faith and our history. And then God says to Moses, "Ascend these heights of Abiram and view the land that I have given to the Israelite people. When you have seen it, you shall be gathered to your kin, just as your brother Aaron was." And who's supposed to take command after him? Of course, it's Joshua. Joshua becomes the not military leader, but the non-priest leader of the people. He becomes the new Moses. And in chapter 27, verse 22, it says, "Moses did as Adonai commanded him. He took Joshua and had him stand before Eleazar the priest and before the whole community. He laid his hands upon him and commissioned him, as Adonai had spoken through Moses." And then, of course, we have a more description of the different ways that the offerings and the first fruits and all of the sacrifices are to be brought, and when and how. Lots and lots of very, very specific details. And then the Torah portion ends. Ele ta'asu la'Adonai b'moadechem levad menirdrechem v'nidvotechem le'olotechem ulminchotechem unisechem ulshalmechem. Vayomer Moshe b'nei Yisrael kechol asher tziva Adonai et Moshe. All these you shall offer to Adonai at the stated times, in addition to your votive and freewill offerings, be they burnt offerings, meal offerings, libations, or offerings of well-being. So Moses spoke to the Israelites just as Adonai had commanded Moses. And that's Parashat Pinchas. Shabbat Shalom.